The massive crystalline chamber aboard the neutral station Harmony's Edge fell silent as Ambassador Zekthar of the Hegemony Alliance delivered what he believed to be the final word. His 3 eyes gleamed with satisfaction as he watched the human delegation across the polished obsidian table. "The terms are non-negotiable," Zekthar declared, his voice carrying the authority of 17 star systems. "Humanity will surrender all colonies beyond the Sol system, dismantle their military fleet, and submit to hegemony oversight. In return, we graciously allow your species to continue existing within your home system." James Mitchell, Earth's lead negotiator, sat perfectly still. His weathered hands remained folded on the table, his expression unreadable. Beside him, Commander Gull Peterson of the Terran Defense Force maintained the same stoic composure that had unnerved alien diplomats for weeks. The chamber housed representatives from 47 different species, all members of the Hegemony Alliance. They had gathered to witness what they believed would be humanity's inevitable capitulation. After all, the humans had been outnumbered 1,000 to 1. Their small fleet of primitive ships couldn't possibly challenge the combined might of the galaxy's most advanced civilizations. "Ambassador Mitchell," Zekthar continued, his translator rendering his clicking speech into perfect English, "surely you understand the futility of resistance. Your species has fought admirably, but the mathematics are clear. Accept our generous terms, and Terra will be spared." James finally moved, reaching into his jacket to retrieve a small datapad. The motion caused several alien guards to tense, hands moving to their weapons. Gull's slight smile at their reaction sent a chill through the room. "I appreciate your generous offer," James said, his voice carrying a peculiar warmth that made the translator struggle with nuance. "But I'm afraid we'll have to decline." A collective intake of breath echoed through the chamber. Several delegates exchanged looks of disbelief. "Decline?" High Chancellor Mordeth of the Crystalline Collective leaned forward, her faceted form catching the chamber's light. "Human, do you not comprehend the forces arrayed against you? We have 10 million warships to your mere 10,000. "We've run the numbers," Gull interjected, her tone conversational. "Quite thoroughly, actually." James activated his data pad, and a holographic display materialized above the table. It showed a simple star map of human space, 23 colonies scattered across 40 light years. "You see," James continued, "there's something about humanity that I don't think you fully grasp. It's not that we're particularly brave, or that we have some secret weapon. It's simpler than that." He tapped the pad, and the display zoomed in on Earth's solar system. "We're stubborn, unreasonably, impossibly stubborn. When someone tells us we can't do something, we tend to, well, we take it personally." Zekthar's mandibles clicked impatiently. "Your stubbornness will not stop our fleets, human." "Oh, you're absolutely right," Gull agreed pleasantly. "You'll probably destroy every human military vessel. You'll occupy our worlds, you might even bomb our cities." The alien delegates began to relax, thinking the humans were finally accepting reality. "But here's the thing," James continued, his smile never wavering. "Every human you kill, every city you destroy, every child you orphan, they'll all have family somewhere, friends, people who remember them." The display changed, showing shipping routes throughout human space. "Do you know what humans do to the people who hurt our families?" Gull asked. "We don't just fight them, we become them. We learn everything about them. We study their technology, their tactics, their weaknesses." James nodded. "We have this saying, if you want peace, prepare for war. But we have another, one that's more relevant here. If you want to see hell, hurt a human's family." The display now showed detailed schematics of hegemony ship designs. "You see," James explained, "while you were preparing your ultimatum, we were preparing too. Not for battle. We knew we'd lose that. We were preparing for what comes after." Chancellor Mordeth's form flickered with alarm. "Those are classified military specifications. How did you—" "Every species in the hegemony uses the same basic hyperspace technology," Gull interrupted. "Very efficient, very fast, very—" trackable. The display showed infiltration routes into hegemony space. The beautiful thing about losing a conventional war, James continued, is that nobody expects the survivors to keep fighting. You'll occupy our worlds and you'll think you've won. But scattered throughout the galaxy will be millions of very angry humans with nothing left to lose. You're talking about terrorism, Zekthar hissed. We're talking about evolution, Gull corrected. You see, humans are tool users. Give us any technology, and we'll find a way to weaponize it. Your hyperspace drives? We've figured out how to turn them into planet crackers. Your communication networks? Perfect for delivering viruses that'll shut down entire fleets. Your trade routes? Highways for guerrilla warfare. The chamber erupted in alarmed chatter, but James held up his hand for silence. Now, I want to be very clear, he said, his voice cutting through the noise. We don't want to do any of this. We'd much rather be trading partners, sharing technology, exploring the galaxy together. But if you force us to choose between submission and becoming, your nightmare. He stood up and Gull rose beside him. Well, we've always been better at being nightmares than we are at being slaves. The datapad in James's hand chimed softly. He glanced at it and nodded to Gull. That's our fleet reporting in, he announced. As of this moment, every human military vessel has been scuttled. Every colony has been evacuated. 23 worlds, empty except for automated distress beacons. The aliens stared in confusion. You see, Gull explained. You can't occupy what isn't there, and you can't rule people who refuse to stay put. James pocketed his datapad. So here's our counteroffer. You leave human space alone and we'll pretend this conversation never happened. Try to enforce your ultimatum, and you'll spend the next 1,000 years teaching your children to check under their beds for humans. The two humans moved toward the exit. At the doorway, James turned back one final time. Oh, and just so we're clear, every word of this conversation has been broadcast live to every human settlement in the galaxy. They're voting right now on whether to accept your terms or to get creative. As the door sealed behind them, the chamber remained in stunned silence. Finally, Zekthar activated his communicator with trembling claws. Cancel the invasion, he whispered. Cancel everything. In the corridor outside, Gull glanced at James. Think they bought it? James checked his datapad one more time, noting the unanimous vote from the colonies. I think, he said with satisfaction, they just learned why humans are the only species that turned mutually assured destruction into a military doctrine. Behind them, 47 civilizations began, the long process of learning to sleep with one eye open.